guys, this is Leanna and welcome to Navigating Homeschooling. My most recent blog post was on teaching children ancient Egyptian history without curriculum. Ancient Egyptian history is one of my favorite histories to teach. I love teaching it to young kids because I like to use Egyptian history as an introduction to history for my children when they're young, because while no history should be boring, Egyptian history makes it so easy to just keep it fun and exciting. And of course, you know, they have mummies. All kids love mummies. So anyway, I just wanted a video to go along with my blog post, just to give an up-close look at some of my favorite books to use. Now, the first thing I would do, if I were you, is just go down to your local library. They probably have some great books there that you can check out. But if you wanted to just have some books for your own personal library, I'm going to show you the ones that I like to use, and just to get you a start there on what books to look for. So to start with, I really like Bill and Pete Go Down the Nile, and you can find this book probably really easy just about anywhere. Online, at a bookstore, it's probably at the library. Like I said, that's where I would go first and see what they have, and before purchasing any books. But when I teach my kids, I hit Egyptian history the first time. They're usually, let's see, my son was like first grade, my daughter kindergarten, and so they're very young, and so this is just makes a great little storybook to go along with it about a crocodile named Bill and his friend Pete on the Nile River. And I also like to include a little geography when we study Egyptian history. So we'll study animals that live along the Nile River and things like that. And so again, this book is great for that. Like I said, kids love mummies, and so they always want to read more about mummies. So the first mummy book that I like is The Valley of the Golden Mummies. And this is just a good book for younger kids. The information is it's easy to read and laid out in a way that's easy to read for you know, young children, first grade, second grade. And of course, my favorite reason that I like this book is because this is where I found the idea of making a mummified tomato, which was an activity my kids absolutely loved, and it's super simple and super easy to do, even with very young children. I think mine were like kindergarten, first grade when I did that activity with them. And if you can't find this book, if you go to my blog, I put instructions on how to make a mummified tomato with your children. Again, it's really easy, fun activity. And then another mummy book I liked is The Best Book of Mummies, and this one really is great, and because I just really like the layout of it, I guess. It's to show you a few pages there. I like it because of just, you know, the pictures and just the simple format. It just makes it easy to, I like books that are easy for me to read to my kids. They're not just giant paragraphs, and have lots of pictures for young children. And so that's a good book if you can find it. Again, all these, you can find them all online. Eyewitness books. I love eyewitness books, again, because of the layout of them. Eyewitness books are probably the best books as far as they pack in a lot of information in one book. And there's just, and again, their layout is just, it has all the little, my son likes books like this that have the little paragraphs under each of the pictures. So I won't read the whole book to the kids because, again, it's just so much information, but I'll pick a few favorite pages out, and then the older kids can, you know, read pages for themselves if they want. And so, because by the time I taught them when they were little, and then we went through Egyptian history again, when they were upper elementary, because by that time they've forgotten some. But then my other son was in kindergarten at that time, so I taught all of them together. And So I like to include the older kids doing activities with the younger kids, and kind of, just something that they can all do together. And reading these books is one of those things that they can do together. So, and then my newest favorite, I got this as a gift from my in-laws for my birthday, but Egyptology, you can find this, purchase it online, but it's I think it's supposed to be a true account of a lady named Emily Sands back in early 1926. She went to Egypt to look for Osiris's tomb, and then while she was there, she disappeared, and no one knows what happened to her. No one could find her body, or presuming she died. But it's a really neat book, and besides just being fun to go through, it has a lot of Egyptian facts, and it has these little flaps. So, and my kids really enjoyed, there is here it is, a Egyptian game. Now, I don't think anyone knows the actual real playing rules, but they give some rules on how to play this game. The pieces are in here. My kids really enjoyed playing that, and played it several times. So again, a really fun book, and kind of a little bit of a mystery, since no one knows what happened to her in the end. And I told my kids, we read maybe a couple of pages of this every day, but I told my kids not to open the book after sunset, because if they did, this little gem would transport them to Egypt. Of course, I was just playing, they knew that, but we had a lot of fun with that. Ancient Egyptian history, I think, is a great way to introduce history to young children. It's just a lot of fun. And head on over to my blog, and there's instructions for how to make the mummified tomato, as well as some of the other activities that we did there. And I hope that, and so my dog, he jumped up on my lap. Anyway, just head on over to there and check it out, and I hope to see you again.